Welcome. We are back. Another day in the market. We're gonna be talking about Bitcoin, the overall stock market, CLOV, Fisker, GRWG, Tesla, CEI, a few ongoing swings. A lot of them got stopped. And I'm gonna do a lot of day trade recaps. So we got a good amount of things to talk about. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's get started with Bitcoin. Kind of a mix of a Gartley and a bat. On the 4-hour chart right now, 618 from X to B, a little bit deeper than an 886 from X to D, and it decided to bounce about 4% off of a 92% retrace. MACD's close to crossing over to green on the 4-hour, so 4-hour chart looks pretty good as long as it can hold 59.5K for Bitcoin. It also printed a daily bullish pin bar pretty much, so it's just trying to hang on to this support, which used to be resistance. We'll see whether or not it can do it, and if somehow it does hold this and this MACD starts waning back towards green, then you have the chance of hitting bullish divergence on the daily. So it's really just at a make or break area, and you do have some variables that could help you hold it. We'll see whether or not it can. Ethereum kind of broke the demand line. Now it's just kind of chilling in this little zone. It used to be an all-time high, and then it was resistance. Also testing that. That's really it for Ethereum right now. OMI, nice bounce back. Between the low of yesterday and to where it is right now, it's up about 13%. Still under the supply line of the bump and run we talked about probably like a week and a half ago. It's back under. We'll see if it can eventually get back above it. Otherwise, it's in between two different levels. It's just kind of in the middle of a range. And then Filecoin, pretty close to the stop. Had a bullish pin bar just like Bitcoin today. Still in this triangle pattern. Hopefully it can just stay above the demand line and eventually break the supply line. But that's it for crypto. Really quick right there. What's going on with the stock market? Futures are pretty much flat. The Hang Seng Index is down over 1%, and Evergrande is down about 1% as well. Just I don't know. I've liked to bring those up recently, just to see how the Chinese market's doing. Apart from that, the US 10-year kind of went up to test 1.64 for the second day in a row, which is a low back from 2015, and it pulled back off that level. Gold, bullish engulfing almost. Pretty much a bullish engulfing candle. Highest daily candle close on gold since like the beginning of June, and it's pushing. And then the dollar went even higher before a little bit of a pullback. I mean, it's just been, dollar's been moving higher and higher, and we've been talking about it. What's going on with the equity markets? Let's get into everything. Starting off with the S&P 500, down about 1/4% today. Nothing too much to really talk about on the daily. Let me just look at all the daily charts and see if there's anything I see. I mean, really not much. I'm not seeing any daily candles that surprise me. So really nothing to break down on the daily. It's pretty 50-50 on the daily looking at how things are right now. You do have a lot of MACD islands crossing over towards red. The S&P already did on the daily. So you got to keep that in mind. But a lot of them don't have bearish divergence. They're just MACD crossovers, and their RSIs are around 70. So, you know, not super bearish oscillators, but definitely not bullish oscillators. We could probably go down to lower time frames now. And you're slightly above this little zone we've been talking about recently on the S&P 500. You broke above it, had a nice run to almost hitting all-time highs. Looks like it's found some resistance around 47.14. It hit that from this candle high and this candle high, and the S&P pulled back down, and now it's actually holding this blue zone as support once again, kind of like it did over here. So that's really the zone I want to see the S&P hold. If it doesn't, I think 46.72 could be tested next. If that breaks for the S&P 500, I'd say 46.50 would be the next resistance, and then even lower, 46.33 resistance after that. So those are your levels on the S&P 500. I could probably just chart them so we can come back to this tomorrow night. Let me actually, this level looks nice. 46.64 kind of looks better to me. And then we'll chart this level as well. So those are your short-term levels for the S&P 500. The volatility index Bounced up today, bullish engulfing candle. Pretty interesting. It's holding above this yellow zone still. Take a look at the NASDAQ 1 hour chart. See if we can find anything. You have some hidden bearish divergence on the NASDAQ 1 hour chart right now. Again, it's a 1 hour chart though. And you could probably chart a new demand line, which it already broke. So broke that demand line today. Kind of like a rising wedge here. Probably charted a couple different ways. I'm gonna go with that. So kind of broke down from a rising wedge earlier today. The ARK ETF on the daily, not much of a change on the ARK ETF, kind of just going sideways for the past week or so. 1 hour chart, you're just in a range right now. You're just in a range over here. I'll leave that on my 1 hour chart so we can take a look at it tomorrow night. So really you're in ranges, you're testing levels. I think tomorrow's really a make or break day for a very short term. I think really tomorrow's, breakout to the upside or downside could tell what could potentially happen on Friday. But we're just in a 50-50 scenario going into tomorrow for the market. One index I'm keeping a very close eye on though, it's the Russell 2000, which is in this very nice falling wedge on the 1 hour chart. You have 3 touches on the demand line, 3 touches on the supply line. And it put in a nice little tweezer bottom off of 235 today. Then it just went sideways after that. But even if we go over to lower time frames, the Russell 2000, and it did close the daily, or the 5 minute on the day. It closed the last 5 minute candle of the day with the bearish engulfing, but again, it's a 5 minute chart. It could, whatever happens tomorrow morning could be completely different. And it's in this triangle pattern, so been keeping a close eye on that. And that's really it for the market. Not too much to talk about. Looks like today, it was really a day where large caps, maybe some tech stocks, they were red but not super red, but then small caps and mid caps kind of got hit today. So that's really the market analysis. What's up in the chat? The guy, Jeff, Mr. 90210, Keanu, Nerve, Max, Levi. Levi says go to Tesla call. We're going to be talking about that. Keanu says Tesla prints money. Oh, we're going to be talking about Tesla tonight. We are. What's up? Jeff says been a while since I've been in the present live. Awesome. This is actually my second live stream today. I streamed for like 40 minutes around noon when Fisker was doing their global Fisker Ocean reveal. I reacted to it live. A little bit less eventful than I was expecting. I was expecting to see a lot more of the interior. I was expecting to see the whole entire interior. I don't know if they had that scheduled for sometime next year. And we did see some specs. We could probably start off with talking about Fisker. We saw some specs. I could probably pull it up again. I think I still have it saved. If I don't, then we can't look at it. I do. Okay. So there we go. So 3 different versions. Let me move this over. Perfect. So you got the Sport, the Ultra, and the Extreme. I already kind of gave my opinions on this in my last video, so go check that out if you missed it. To me, the Ultra just makes the most sense if you're talking spec for dollars. But of course, it depends on what you need the car for. So it just, imagine you had an endless amount of money and you just wanted the best car per dollar. I think the Ultra is what it is. I don't know what it could be. But the Extreme, I don't know why there's a $19,000 difference between these two. Except they did talk about like a 1,500 miles something range or whatever with the solar roof. I'm not completely sure. And then you obviously have a large difference between the Sport and the Ultra when it comes to 0 to 60, and not too much of a difference between the Ultra and the Extreme, but some people, a third of a second, it is significant. For me, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's what you got with the Fisker Ocean reveal today. They also showed off the car like they did last night when we looked at it on stream. We could take a look at the Fisker chart right now. I'm actually going to come back to when I do day trade recap. But yeah, a couple nights ago, not too long ago on the stream, I said, after you already hit both targets for a 53% profit, I said, if there were to be if there were to be third and fourth targets, it would be 2158 and 2367 in my opinion. And you can see it hit 2158 right over here. It actually did use as resistance for one day. Then the next day it hit 2367, and then today again it used 2367 as resistance. This level has been charted before yesterday and today. Okay, this level was charted last week. Where does it come from? It comes from all the way over here, November 27th, and then also a couple candle highs, even the high from February 24th, the high from March 9th. You can see it comes from a few different days. So yeah, just another perfect example of TA being fake right there. And it pulled back today. had a nice little move, which we're going to talk about later on. That's your Fisker. Let me go over the rest of the ongoing swings. Get started with Grow Generation. Not the start I was hoping for. Pretty close to confirming hidden bearish divergence on the daily. For me, it's approaching the support. I just want to see bounce off this level like it did the last 4 times it was here, or 3 times it was here. So hopefully the 4th time is the charm. It bounces off of it and it finally goes. This used to be resistance from October of last year. And yeah, just hoping for a bounce literally tomorrow on this one, hopefully. BIIB got stop hunted. It was a tight stop in the first place. So it was only 5%. But you could see it did have its lowest close since like all the way back in the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, couldn't hold the break out of the wedge. So also hidden bearish divergence here. Just really not what I was hoping for on the new swings. You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be in your faces when my swings are hitting targets, but I'm also going to be dead honest when they're not working out. And a lot of these are just not working out right now. They're not doing what I was hoping for. But that's the game you play as a swing trader. There's going to be good times. There's going to be bad times. You just got to make more in the good times than you lose in the bad times. And if you look at the results on the weekly sheet, that's exactly what we've done in the last year. About a 3-to-1 in terms of gains compared to losses. 3-to-1 ratio. So yeah, that's BIIB. Hopefully can eventually get back above 262. BIPS, not much of a difference. We could chart a little level over here around 13 bucks. That's kind of this new resistance that's forming, so hopefully can eventually break above that. But remember, this is an extra long-term swing. This thing created a 2-year long bullish bat pretty much, so it could take some time, but it's okay for right now. Trade's still in profit. So it's still up about 6-7%, and that's really the rest of that's the ongoing trades right now. So I can pull up the weekly sheet really quickly. So here we go. Yeah, so we had BENE, which was a SPAC, and when I initially posted it, it was a short-term swing, and by short-term, I was literally thinking like 2 or 3 days, 4 days max. It was a 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart looked good to me. It actually did make a nice move at one point. It went up like 10%, and then it just did nothing. Actually did something again. I don't even know if I remember that. But yeah, just didn't do what I was hoping for. And that's just how it goes sometimes. Give me a second here. Alright, so it just didn't do what I was hoping for, and at this point, there's a rumor of who they're merging with for the SPAC, but it was only a technical trade to me. It really wasn't a fundamental. I like the company that they're rumored to be merging with. Again, it's just a rumor for now, I believe. So just do your own research. I took it off the sheet. I know the lump was talking about in the Discord earlier this week. There just really wasn't any point of keeping it on the sheet. So I just took it off the sheet because there's no point of being there. Do whatever you want with your own money, as per usual on all the swings. So that was number 1. Number 2 was XL. This one, look, there was 2 different ways it could go. It could break down or it could break up. Unfortunately, it was in this range and it didn't break up. It's been in this range. We've been talking about this range every night on stream, and it just didn't break up. So lowest candle close of all time on XL, just not going out I would have wanted to. Actually do also have some hidden bearish divergence on the daily now. Hey, I wish them the best. You know, one thing that does suck a lot of the time, it sucks a lot of the times, is when a swing gets stopped and the next day thing goes up like 15-20% again. You know, that does happen. It might happen to one of the swings that got stopped today. It's a part of swinging, but that's why you also have stops in the first place, because it could do this exact opposite. It could go down another 20% the day after. So from my personal experience, and we could probably somebody, if you really want to, go fact check on the sheet, but most swings that have been stopped on the sheet went lower shortly after, from just off the top of my head. So please go fact check that if you really want to. The sheet's public. And then obviously CLOV, which I guess we'll talk about next. It's going to be a short stream tonight. I already did a 40-minute stream earlier. So really the rest of the stream is pretty much, we just talked about the swings. Actually, one thing I want to bring up with the swings. But yeah, I already streamed earlier and I gotta wake up at like 7 tomorrow. And tomorrow's just gonna be a really long day. So I'm going to probably be live till like 9:30 EST tonight. I don't know. But before we get into CLOV and then we talk about day trades, just want to bring something up, all right? Just being, again, I'm always just going to be honest. I really don't have emotions when it comes to this stuff. To some degree, of course. And honestly, one thing I would say is in terms of like swings stopping out, again, we're talking about 3 swings as of right now. We're talking about 3 swings out of like 18. One thing I will say is like it never gets easier. I always thought like as time goes on and the sheet gets, you know, there's even more and more and more good weeks compared to bad weeks. It's like, yeah, there's always gonna be losses, but it always does sting when trades don't work out. But again, and I do this all the time, especially when I'm thinking super short term, because when you have failed trades, you really start thinking short term. You start forgetting all of the past year and you start thinking, wow, why are things just not working? That's just probability. And I was actually watching a Mark Douglas lecture the other night, and he was talking about you have a certain system, right, as a trader, and you have variables and indicators, and you have your edge. That edge does not tell you what happens on the following trade. You know, it could, but it doesn't with certainty. The edge tells you what could happen in a set of trades. For example, you have a falling wedge pattern, which has a certain % chance, based on Bulkowski's research, over time of working out or not working out, right? And that probability is not for one trade. It's really for 10, 15, 20, whatever the sample size you want it to be. It's out of, let's say, for example, 10 trades. If there's a 70% chance, 7 out of 10 trades. But at the same time, give and take. You have to give and take because those are not real numbers. Every stock is unique. Every moment in the market is unique. So it really just always helps to have perspective. And the other thing I want to talk about, just being straightforward. It's just not the same type of market. The market's great. Obviously, we're at all-time highs. We've been riding like crazy, and we've had a couple really good weeks in here. I mean, you know. So there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, but it's really right now the market, it's like I missed a lot of different EVs that I wanted to get swings on, unfortunately. Also missed a couple pot stocks, but those already pulled back between yesterday and today. And those are two really hot sectors. I mean, some EVs pulled back today as well, but Tesla was up and a couple others. But really right now, I mean, you could see it. You already see the IWM and the ARK pulling back well before the S&P and the NASDAQ. So you have that, but at the same time, it's just a situation where, I don't know, a lot of things went pretty well for a good amount of time, and I guess, you know, luck is just catching up, or not luck, but probability, I guess. But what I wanted to really get to is like, you know, this all really started with swings, but over time, and swings have still been amazing. I'm really starting to fall into day trading. Again, swings, I'm always going to be sharing swings whether you're in premium or not, but like, I really feel like recently, like by recently, I mean like the past few months, it's like day trading has really just been my bread and butter. You know, the market's, I guess, as good as ever, and my results on swings have stood out for themselves, but like day trading, I've just really put a lot of effort into over the past few months compared to what I did before. Before, I would just take day trades if I saw like anything, and really I've started developing this system over the past 3-4 months where it's like day trades are becoming like a big part of my journey as a trader, which I didn't expect. I was honestly thinking I'd be a swing trader forever. Honestly, I'm as much as a day trade now as I am a swing trader, and I know the stream has always been swing trading orientated, that's how you say it correctly. But I really want to start talking more about day trades, because if I'm making money or if I'm sharing stuff in premium, I want to make sure that the stream is also up to that level so that people who aren't in premium for whatever reasons can still learn the same exact formula that I use in premium, but at the same time, it's not going to be me. I'm going to try and help you, right? So I wanted to get that point across as well. So yeah, speaking of that, we can probably do some day trade recaps. And you see the stream title, a thumbnail. I was going to say comparing, but I hate like placing my face with Photoshop on Tom Brady's, because Tom Brady's the GOAT and I'm not, but it was just a fun thumbnail. So let's get to it. And actually, no, before we do day trades, should we talk about CLOV after or before? So I was just about to head into the day trades. I guess we could do CLOV first, and then we'll talk about the day trades after, because otherwise it just messes up the flow of the stream. Let me read the chat. So I'm going to talk CLOV, and then after CLOV, actually I'll even go into one of the day trades while I'm talking about CLOV, so that works out well. So I'm going to talk about CLOV overall, then I'm going to talk about the CLOV trade today, and then I'm going to talk about the rest of the day trades. And yeah, I might just, I don't know, talk to the chat after that. But again, like I said, quicker stream tonight. So make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the streams lately. Always trying my best, putting as many hours as I can. I mean, the amount of streams I've done in the past year, I scroll through my YouTube channel and I still don't understand how I've done all these streams. Like, it doesn't feel like I have. But I just scroll through my channel, there's like 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, 1 hour, like just nonstop for the past year. So just hit the like button. That's all I'm asking. Check out the links in the description. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the stream. Free courses in the description, and the Discord links in the description, and premiums in the description. Everything's in the description. Check that stuff out. What's up with CLOV? What's up with CLOV? Okay. Well, dropped 7% today. And we talked about a couple things last night on stream. So let's start off with that. Last night on stream, I talked about this. Okay, I said you had this previous zone of support that I didn't call, but I shared the probability for 2 bottoms off of, which was this one. Okay, I think I literally put out a tweet around here saying I think CLOV is bottoming. And then this one, I was a little bit just saying like, wow, there's a really good technical edge here. And you had a nice pop and things were looking amazing until the unforeseen happened, okay? There's no way that I could have predicted an offering. And like I always say, you know, technicals will be overridden by stuff like that, and that's what happened. So we broke the zone and bounced back up, and this was what happened yesterday. Literally during the day yesterday, I shared a tweet saying it's at resistance right now because it was a previous support. You could go on my Twitter and find that. And then last night on stream, I said the same exact thing again. And I also said that you had a shooting star candle on the 1 hour at that resistance. So you pretty much flipped your previous support. Okay, I could put another arrow here. You flipped your previous support into a resistance. And then that's pretty much the opposite of what we talk about with the upside breakouts. It's a break, hook, and go, but to the downside, okay? This is your break. This is your hook, which means you retested your breakout or breakdown, and this is your go. You had a break, hook, and go. And I did not overnight any CLOV calls coming into today. I overnighted CLOV calls before the offering. I was up, and then I was down a lot on Tuesday morning, I believe, which is this candle. And then yesterday after I saw this, I had an overnight calls. I was actually in PROG calls coming into today, which my alarm like went off and I didn't wake up. And if I would have woken up, I could have taken like 200% profit, but I woke up and ended up taking 50% profit. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to CLOV. So yeah, it fell and fell and fell. And what else did it do that we talked about last night on stream? It broke yesterday's low of day. I said last night on stream, if you break under that 650 to 630 is where you could be headed to next. It went down to 635. Go back to last night's stream if you forgot that. And even at 650 on the 5-minute, let's see if we can find it. Right over here, you could see you spent about half an hour testing that 650 level, which was, no, not 650, sorry. Well, 650 you did spend half an hour testing, but also yesterday's low, 665, you spent about 15 minutes testing that level, and then it broke it. And then when you broke it, you just dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped until you got all that stuff, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But that's really what happened. You know, we talked about all that last on stream. I'll say this time and time again. And there's a huge misconception, but when have I ever come on the stream saying CLOV is going to move tomorrow? I know a lot of other YouTubers do that. That's not me. The reason I talk about CLOV every night is because I care about it, because a lot of my viewers care about it based on the views that I'm seeing, based on the likes that I'm seeing, and also the YouTube algorithm. It literally tells me where I'm getting views from, and the CLOV stock is the #1 search term, right? So I cover it because my viewers care about it and because I care about it. I'm not covering it because I'm bullish on it every single day in and day out. I always tell you every night on stream what I'm thinking, and probably more than half the time I'm just neutral, you know? I'd probably say I'm like neutral 50% of the time, bullish 40% of the time, and like bearish 10% of the time. That's probably like just off the top of my head. And those times that I'm bullish, I mean, we had the spring of the Wyckoff accumulation, 50% in 20 days. We had this bottom, which I also talked about. It was a bunch of different harmonics lining up here in the lower Bollinger Band. And then even this recent one, it only led to a 1-day bounce because then we had an offering. So I just, whatever it is, I'm going to tell you what I see on the chart. I don't care about what other people have opinions on. I'm here to just talk about charts. If you don't like that, there's other streams. But what's happening now is, let's see what's up with the daily. Lowest RSI level. You actually broke under this 36 RSI level. It's been holding since May. Broke under that RSI level. So lowest RSI level pretty much since April, and pretty much also your lowest price since March. So you got 5 cents. Your low of day was 5 cents above the previous all-time low, and it bounced towards that area. Really nothing looking left at 635. That's where it decided to bounce. It might have just really been, a lot of people saw that 631 was the last level literally on the chart, and maybe some people wanted to get filled in just ahead of that, and that's why you bounced there. But yeah, you actually, it's pretty hard to do this, but you actually broke. This is a demand line. You have 1, 2, 3 touches. You broke to the downside of it. That is a fact. It's not me spreading FUD, it's literally a fact. And really no signals on the MACD, so it is what it is for right now. Honestly, I think this whole entire zone, I mean, historically, I said this a couple nights ago, it hasn't never spent more than 5 days closing under this zone. Hopefully it doesn't do that for the first time ever. It's always possible. But 710, you know, you don't have a lot of history under 710. Okay, pretty much most of the days you broke it over here, you bounced right back above it and closed above it. Over here, you spent a few days closing in this range, but it was right after the NASDAQ literally corrected in the beginning of May. So yeah, not a lot of data here, which makes it hard to do technical analysis at this price range, because again, you look for areas with a lot of data for higher probability technicals. However, the easiest way for me to put things, break back above 710, resets a lot of different things, especially risk management. It's much harder to manage risk under that. If you're above that, you have a clear support level to look at, just from a technical standpoint. In terms of long-term investors, I have the same exact opinion I've had on CLOV long-term, and I still will, unless like something insanely different happens fundamentally with their business. So it's the lowest price it's seen, but you always have to be open to all the different possibilities. And yeah, I'm going to continue talking about CLOV every night. Sucks that the swing didn't work, but also it's not the first one that didn't work since it's been non-stop dropping, apart from a bunch of different rallies, which honestly every single one we talked about prior to. And yeah, I've said it many times on stream before, we've done a pretty good job trading calls on CLOV. We trade very short-term calls, like weekly calls based on 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour charts. And speaking of that, we did the same thing today. So CLOV was down, actually 2 different stocks we're going to talk about. CLOV was down 7% today. Fisker was down 10% today. In premium, I shared alerts that were both profitable for CLOV and Fisker, and those were calls. They were not puts, they were calls. So you could see, let's see, today was the 17th, pretty much the whole entire day until here, CLOV dropped. Okay, so the rest of the stream is going to be day trade education, because I've been saying, like, again, I just talked about how the swings aren't doing the best. So I've really just been working on day trades, and you see the stream title if you didn't already. Bird says CLOV offering another 7 million shares of Class A common stock released this evening. I did not see that. Laidback says thanks for keeping CLOV as part of the show. CV, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a part of me that loves CLOV really long term, and it's also part of me that really wants to help out my viewers. I know a lot of my viewers care about CLOV, so I really want to help you see what's on the chart, whether good or bad. Just tell you what I see. Again, I'm not always right. Never will always be right. But you can see, all right, let's get into day trades. First off, I'm gonna start with CLOV. You can see it dropped the whole entire day. Didn't touch it. I didn't see much of an edge over here. I actually saw a little bit of an edge in this area. I actually shared a chart in the Discord in the trading chat, but it didn't really play out. It was right here when you were first confirming that divergence. It just didn't play out. So I ended up changing my lines, and yeah, didn't touch it. Over here, over here, over here, over here. So how am I making profit on CLOV? How are we trading calls in premium day in and day out and making profit when CLOV is just non-stop dropping, right? Wait for that edge, and here's what happened. Okay, your classic bullish divergence on the 5-minute changed into triple classic bullish divergence. All right, you made lower lows and lower lows and lower lows while making higher lows on your MACD. Okay, triple classic bullish divergence. Then I saw this. It was pretty much the first significant hammer candle of the day. Now you probably had a couple other hammer candles like you did over here as well, right? You had this hammer candle, it went up the candle after, then went back down. Let's see if there's any others I see. Not really. So you had like one other hammer candle, even kind of this, but it's a pretty large body. But on this hammer candle, this was my main signal, okay? Hammer candle at the low of the day on high volume, all right? Not the highest volume of the day, but higher than the typical volume throughout the day, okay? that shows that yes, there were more sellers than buyers technically on that candle, but the fact that the buyers were able to rally it over 0.5% off the low while all that volume was growing shows that the buyers were taking some sort of control in the candle after they hold those gains up. Okay, so the bears were non-stop selling it throughout the day. Then the buyers, they show a little bit of strength. Okay, a good amount of bids come in regardless of the overwhelming supply. They show that strength, the stock bounces, and then the bears cannot drop it the candle after or the candle after that. Okay, you could see on that previous candle that we were talking about why this why this hammer didn't work is because you could see you had an okay amount of volume, then you lost it and you just gave it back up. It didn't do it this time around. Okay, and pretty much, let me throw an arrow over here, pretty much right around over here is when I alerted CLOV to premium members, and it was a very simple trade. There were $6.5 strikes for this week. It literally moved like 7 or 8 cents and the calls went up, let's see, like it moved 7 or 8 cents. That's what I'm talking about. Like, thing is, it's hard to do this if you really don't understand technicals, because then you don't know what to look for, and then playing weekly options without an edge can literally destroy you. Not only an edge, but you also need risk management. So that's why I'm really trying to break this down on the stream. And that was about a 19% profit on a 6-cent move on CLOV. Okay, made this little high, fell back down again, ended up double bottoming, and then went back up again. What else was I looking at apart from the divergence and the wedge and the hammer and the volume? 1618. So if we scroll out, you could see you go from this low to this high, you went down to your 1618 Fibonacci extension, didn't perfectly tap it, but it pretty much bounced around there. And then also I think it was that lower Bollinger Bands, as you can see right over here. So you're looking for multiple variables to be lining up at the same place, and it didn't create the largest of moves at all. It created like literally a 1% move, but that can give you 19% profit if you know how to time it perfectly. And that's the hard thing. A lot of people can be right, you just have to wait until you're right. But being right and timing it takes skill, and it takes a lot of experience. And this has taken me months and months of watching CLOV's chart every single day to spot trends like this. And that's what I share with premium members. But again, I'm not always right. On Monday, it was a horrible trade. Well, from a technical standpoint, I wasn't wrong on Monday. Okay, this was what was happening. The CLOV calls were actually up 13% at one point on Monday. And it technically was a day trade. I said it was a day trade in premium. But then after the close, I also said, like 5 minutes after the close, I also said I'm holding them into tomorrow because I just ended up holding them. I didn't think too much of it. And then the offering came out. But literally, this would have been a perfect week for trades so far. If that offering, I mean, maybe. I mean, it still might have went down on Tuesday if the offering didn't come out. But that sucked. I mean, it's in the thumbnail, but I'll just pull up one more time. So that was CLOV. That's the first one I'm going to recap. And again, I just want to help out people who aren't in premium so you can understand how I'm making money, because I know a lot of the non-premium swings are just not doing well right now. So if you don't want to join premium, I at least want to teach you what I'm doing in premium to a certain extent. But you can see over here, it was that. So like, imagine if we just took this out, like how crazy this week could be. It's still a crazy week. I mean, these aren't potential returns. Of course, everybody trades their own way. But I mean, sheesh. It's 3 days into the week. And yet I took that personally. If anybody knows the Michael Jordan meme, you know, we had a nice little trade on SPY on Monday, which I already recapped on the stream, and then the offering screwed up that trade horribly on Tuesday morning, and I took it personally. I wasn't revenge trading. I said, all right, let's do it. You want to drop an offering? I'm gonna go trade a couple other things, and I'll come back to you, CLOV. All right, and that's what we did. So you just have to have composure. Surprises are gonna happen. You can't go and blame other people. Okay. The people who did an offering for CLOV, the leaders of the company, did it for what they thought was best for the company. You can't blame them. It sucks. It's not an optimal scenario. Short term, long term, it might be. Might give them cash to do whatever they want. It also creates dilution. But that is CLOV. And the day trade recap. Let's talk about Fisker. Same thing, different ticker. Well, not the same thing, but same idea, different ticker. Okay, this was I keep forgetting. This was a 40%. All right, listen to me. This was a 40% profit in, I think, 15 minutes. And it was pretty cool. And I'm going to show you why it was pretty cool. Alexander says 617%. Make sure this is very clear. I put potential here for a reason, because targets, I share all the levels on the charts, and also I teach, you know, what to look for as resistances, but these are only potential returns, you know. They're, like, this could be lower for some people, it could be higher for some people, but I just want to make sure that's clear. All right. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the max profits on all these trades, and then even this, like, it could be different for some people. This might have been a negative 60 for some people, might have been a negative 90 for some people. I'm trying to, as perfect as I can based on how I run the weekly sheet, share those results. But Fisker today, white arrow is where I shared the alert to premium members. It was a day trade. Green arrow is where it went up to. So what was my edge on this day trade? Well, let me actually move this up. When I was looking at it, it was a mix of a bat and a Gartley, except that C point was high. But again, I say this a lot of the times. I want all of you to be using harmonics as textbook as possible, okay? For me though, especially on day trades, I use them pretty, I'm not going to say loosely. Basically, I'm going to look for textbook harmonics. But if I see a scuffed harmonic which lines up with other indicators, I'm not thinking about it as more of an XABCD. I'm thinking about it more as Fibonacci and solely Fibonacci. I'm just using the harmonic to visualize that. A lot of people don't really understand that, but I want to make sure that's clear. But it was an unofficial harmonic. I'm going to talk about it like that. It's not a textbook harmonic. But even if we take this away, you went down to a 78% retrace, okay? So you have some confluence over here. What happened at that 78% retrace, okay? Tweezer, bottom candle, almost. Also, you're in a falling wedge, have hidden bullish divergence on the daily, and you had a historical level, which is 2158. You could see it was support here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. So again, multiple variables lining up. Hidden bullish divergence, breaking out of the wedge. I think it was also at the lower Bollinger Band, not only on the 5-minute, but also on the 15-minute. It was starting to develop at the lower Bollinger Band. And I also knew that they were going to be having the Fisker Ocean Reveal event. And I talk about this, I've said this many times on the stream, what could happen when you have catalysts and technicals lining up. They could help each other out. They could also counteract each other, like the offering on CLOV. But I was like, all right, the stock's already down like 7 or 8%, 9% on the day, and they're about to have an event. So it's already dropped. So even if it were to be a sell the news situation, it's already dropped a good amount before the news was even there. So I also understood that. And yeah, boom, it happened it literally happened within 10 minutes. Like you see, these two candles ran up to the VWAP in the upper Bollinger Band, and that was 40% right there. So that was Fisker. So I talked about CLOV, I talked about Fisker. Those were both solely day trades from today. I don't know, it depends on again, it always depends. I'm actually still in some CLOV calls for tomorrow because of that double bottom I was talking about. But again, I have my risk managed this double bottom. This is the reason I'm still in CLOV, but it's starting to turn into more range. We'll see tomorrow. That was CLOV, that was Fisker. Those are some day trade recaps. Let's talk about PROG. I already somewhat broke this down on stream last night. But this ended up being a 200% profit trade. It was not labeled as actually, I think PROG, let me just check. PROG. So Fisker and CLOV and PROG were all technically labeled as day trades. So you could see over here on PROG, it was a nice move up until yesterday. I think it was a 60% profit day trade solely. But I personally held PROG calls overnight because it looks strong to me. We talked about PROG last night on stream. You can go rewatch it if you want. But yeah, PROG, I held it into today. It looked really strong. It was in this upsloping channel. I took it off my chart, but I could quickly chart it. It was in this nice upsloping channel at the end of the day. After hours, it went up like 10%. Everything was going good. And it made an even higher move. So this is where I alerted in premium. This is where it went this morning. This is where it closed at yesterday. And I was like, all right, we're good. I woke up this morning late. And this thing gapped up like crazy, went up to $6. And I woke up like literally around like over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way I just missed that. And I did. And then I ended up taking profits right. What are you doing? I ended up taking profits right over here on like this candle. So I could have taken like probably 100 to 200% profit up here. Ended up taking like a 50-60% profit over here on my calls. I just saw that this level was right under the VWAP. It was a previous high on these two candles and a low on this candle. But yeah, in terms of PROG in general, I've been getting a lot of questions about it going into tomorrow. I don't know. It's 50-50 short term to me. I don't know what it did after hours. was down 8%, so it went down to 446. So yeah, I got out of PROG. Looks like it went down to pretty much over here after hours, which is pretty much this previous high. This is the zone for tomorrow in PROG. This 420 to 440 zone, that was your previous resistance. Then it was support. That's your zone. Above it could be a nice little move during the day. It breaks below it. Then you got a gap fill like 350. So I think this is the big zone. That's really all I got for PROG. And then Tesla, this one was the crazy one. Okay. And again, this is why I'm doing the day trade recap literally right now. This is why you're watching the day trade recap. Okay. This is why I'm sharing it on the stream and not just in premium. Okay. 382. So it was just a high probability setup. It was a 40% trade just today alone. Honestly, this 1 hour chart, it's only made about a 23% retrace. 382 is 1080. 1100 is pretty much a psychological level. This candle high, and almost at your 50% retrace. So 1100 is like the short term level I'm watching. So it was just so that was last night on stream as I was doing the Tesla recap. And again, Tesla was not labeled as a day trade when I shared it in premium. It was just a swing. I mean, not a swing, but it was just an option that could be a day trade, it could be a swing. It's completely up to you. So yeah, we talked about this last night on stream. I told you all that Tesla was a stacked chart last night on stream in terms of variables. Okay, last night on stream, we talked about that 5-minute chart, okay, with the hidden bullish divergence. And I alerted to premium members right over here. Then it had a nice run up. Today was the 17th, so where did it open? Did it just run? All right, so it ran right off the open. So yesterday, it flagged, it bounced. It flagged again, it bounced. And I think it closed right around over here. And it closed at this 1056 level. And yesterday night on stream, I told all of you, you look at that 1 hour chart, you've got this nice dragon pattern that it just broke out of. I even talked about how after the breakout, it was back testing the breakout, and you closed right here. This is when I was talking about last on stream. You had a small gap up this morning, but the majority of the move happened after the gap up. And I also had this range charted out for all of you right over here. And you could see once it gapped above this range, it was lights out. And this was where it was alerted. This is where it went up to today, around 1100. It went up to 1120-ish. Last night on stream, I also said 1100 is the key level I'm watching. And you could pretty much see it. Spent a little bit of this one candle above it, but that was your resistance, right? I said it was this high, this high. I don't think I mentioned this, but it was the high as well, and it was right under your 50% retrace. That was the level we talked about. Hit that level. So there was Tesla. This was a 400% profit trade overnight. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on apart from the swings. So if you're not in premium, you're just seeing the swings, and a few of them got stopped out today. Like, wow, things are horrible. Well, that's why I'm saying, like, over time, like, yeah, there's great times for swings. There's not so great times for swings. Historically, 3-to-1 ratio in terms of winning percent trades in terms of profits compared to losses. I probably just messed it up. I'm really tired. But now, over time, I'm really starting to see, like, if I apply these same things with my experience and with the risk management, it's really cool to see how things are playing out intraday. So hopefully, all of that education helped you out. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing this stuff like actually throughout the day and not just the recap on the stream, premium is the first link in the description. Prices will be going up probably in a couple weeks here. So yeah, prices will be going up. If you get them before then, you're grandfathered in at whatever rate you get in at is what you're going to be grandfathered in at forever. So yeah, those prices are going to be gradually going up over time. I'm sure you know about other people with a similar system. But I'm also sure you don't know anybody else that's currently at $30 a month with what I have in premium, but that's up to you. Honestly, I'm really hoping the swings can start doing better. There's only 3 ongoing swings for non-premium members. Market's looking a little bit weird, so I don't know if I'm going to be putting out new swings right away. So I don't know. Right now, still just kind of focused on day trades. That's just where things are working. And good swings will come again, like this one. Just gotta wait. So a couple other things before we end off the stream. CEI, we talked about it last night on stream. I tweeted about it yesterday. I shared in the Discord yesterday. Again, I just like to share examples of how fake TA is. But yeah, it was at the 200-day moving average at the apex of a wedge, close to confirming hidden bullish divergence today. It went up 30% at one point since when I was talking about it yesterday. So nice move there. And yeah, I just want to give an update on that. Nice little move in terms of CEI, the chart. 103 and 120 are the levels I'm watching as support. And I mean, there's not much resistance to like 180 on this. I don't know what it did after hours. We can take a look. Down about 1%. So just want to give an update on how that's going. See, this is the thing. I wish I would have put this out as a swing. It's just, I don't know, like a little bit of frustration there. And then Lucid dropped 5% today. I'm just looking at stuff on my watch list. It actually held 50.39. Where did I have that chart from? Oh, that was actually gap fill. That was actually your support today after you broke above it yesterday. I don't know if anything happened after hours. Down 4%, down to 50 bucks. All right, so yeah, I know it's a shorter stream, but it's my second stream today. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I'm just gonna read the chat and I'll get out of here, but that's what I got for tonight. Sorry if it was a little bit boring tonight. Just wanted to recap some stuff. There wasn't too much else to talk about. Really nothing too crazy happened in the market today. And I really haven't read the chat, so I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the stream. Hit the like button if you enjoyed all that day trade education and everything else I said before that. Hit the subscribe button. See what's up in the... Did I not drink any tea and now it's cold? Correct. Jeff says, do you still like XL for a reversal even though it got stopped? Just had its lowest daily candle close ever. If it gets back above, what is it, 580 is the level? If it gets back above 580, then it's back above resistance. It's just not there for right now. So yeah. SWW says, I figured you got stopped out of CLOV. All good. Glad you revisit and gave feedback. Remember the sheet. Remember this. The weekly sheet, myself and you are all different entities. Okay. What goes on the weekly sheet is not exactly what I'm doing personally. And it's also not exactly what you should be doing personally. You should never be blindly following anybody on the internet. I'm not a financial advisor. So because something hits a target or stops out or is a break even on the sheet, it's not always indicative of whatever else. The weekly sheet is just a simple way. It's a very rough way for me to track how things are going. So please remember that. I am currently in CLOV right now as SWW. A couple other people messaged me that. Like a couple people messaged me telling me that I stopped out of CLOV, and I'm like, did I? You know, I just want to make sure that's clear. But on the sheet, if that's all you were mentioning, then yeah, happens. And if CLOV goes up 20% tomorrow, I'm happy. Of course, it's a little bit frustrating because of the swing, but again, there was no way I could have predicted an offering when I shared that swing for solely technical reasons. You know, if I could predict offerings, then I wouldn't be apologizing. Or is that the right way to say it? Or I would be. I don't even know what I was trying to say right there. But like, I just can't predict that stuff. So there's really nothing I can do about it. Just, it is what it is. That's why I talk about risk management and position sizing and stop losses on all the swings and the course on streams, you know. Additional shares being offered, says Waffle Maker. Jeff O'Connor talking about the 50% move that nobody cared about. It was crazy. Certainly was crazy. What else is in the chat? So that S1 is what they filed after hours. I have Clover filing alerts. I saw the email. I didn't have time to look at it. S1 MEF. Not loading now, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Me Tenderfoot says, appreciate your objectivity with CLOV TA. At a quick glance, the asset can look horrific. Knowing the fundamentals and good TA is precious. Glad to hear that. Jeff said, put CV on Jordan. Put CV on Jordan in the recliner. I don't get that reference for tomorrow's stream. Medi says that Fisker trade was fire and timing was so perfect. Yeah, it definitely, the event definitely did help out more than I would have imagined. I'm not gonna lie. Zeke says that was so crazy, Medi. Soda says, I still love CLOV Soda. I do too. CLOV could be at $2 and I'll still love it. Not how the stock is doing, but I'll still love the company. I would not love how the stock is doing at $2. I really hope there's not a day. I don't know if there's ever gonna be, like, I just really hope there's not a day that it is. I'm so tired right now that I feel like I'm just speaking like nonsense. Jeff says you should run the numbers and see the profit and loss for premium day trades. Maybe you already have. Yeah, that's what we do. I marked pretty much around 20. If a premium option idea goes up 20% first, around 20%, I mark it as a win. If it goes down around 20% first, I mark it as a loss. It's not a foolproof method, but just how I track things. Yo, there's a video of the interior of Fisker, not full details, but you can see the seats signs. I'm gonna look at that later, thank you. And they said the reason why they didn't show it because it wasn't the final product. All right, well that makes sense, that's fair. What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Arasan? SWW says here, I play the same. I don't care if you stop by or stay in. FY, yeah, I mean, I remember, I don't know where Tar Heel's been. I really hope Tar Heel starts making videos again, but I remember a lot of people who were very upset with Tar Heel. With rumors that he sold or whatever. For me, I've been insanely honest about this since day one. I've said it probably over a dozen times on stream. I trade CLOV, but I also like it long term, and I understand long-term theses for investments. Also, I respect the bears on CLOV. I respect any trader. Okay, why do I respect any trader? Because they're in the same market as me. They're giving me liquidity to trade. They're giving all of us liquidity to trade. I respect any single person, unless they're manipulating, who's in this market, okay? Because there wouldn't be a market without them. That's just how I look at things. There's been days where I don't overnight CLOV. There's been days where I do. I've said this many times, you know, a lot of the time I am in CLOV. Sometimes I'm not. It just depends on how things are looking short term. I try and trade it. But if you're long term, I completely respect it. Like, I don't know, I just think it's very weird that people care about what other people are doing with their money. But I'll be as honest as I want to be, which is as honest as possible. And again, I just said I'll be as honest as I want to be, which sounds so like messed up, but that's just me being tired. But like, I can't even think what to say. It's like, I'll be as honest as I can be. That's probably a better way to say it. I'm not going to tell you how much money I have in something and exactly what I'm selling and buying, but overall, like I'm always telling you guys, like, you know, what I'm doing. Even last week I was telling you like a lot of different positions and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. Money is weird. I think that's something we can all agree on. Zeke says, I'm pretty sure in the first file docs there was an option there for them to offer 7 million more shares, but I could totally be wrong. I have no clue. Jeff says, when he says I took that person sitting on the gorgeous leather chair, yeah. Now I get it. CE says, I think PROG gonna hit double digits soon. Made a good amount on it so far. Still in the game with most of my position. Yeah, I talked about it in the stream. I woke up late today. It's probably the most frustrating thing from today that I woke up late and I wasn't able to take profits on PROG because I literally had $6 as my target short term. And yeah, I woke up late. Kenneth says, Miss THB is a good guy. I love CLOV, but I love the swing sales while it is so consistent the last few months. Yeah, I'm gonna message him soon. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I don't know what he's been up to. Hopefully he's doing all right. Because Tar Heel's an awesome person. I don't know. I think he should start making content again. But again, I have no clue what he's going through, so I just hope he's doing well. It's coming back for you. Jesse says that you did miss Fisker. I talked about Fisker overall on the daily chart. I talked about the Fisker day trade from today, and then also earlier in the day I did a stream of the Fisker Ocean reveal. So we talked a bunch about Fisker today. Yeah, they'll be in the timestamps. How late did you wake up? I woke up around, I was like half awake around like 10:30, and then I really got out of bed at like 11. So like that's like an hour to an hour and a half after the market opened, and PROG was pretty much just selling off within that hour and a half. Yeah, like it was like this was pretty much the amount that I missed. Like I woke up like pretty much in this area is when I was waking up, and I just got out like around over here. It was either here or here. I think it might have been, it was one of these highs. I know it was around 5:30. That's all I really remember. And I remember it was before noon. So it was probably this side of that high. But if I was up, I would have probably So it's probably a lot right over here, but I wasn't up. It's just not a fun way to start your day. It's like you wake up and you see, oh wow, it was up to over $6, and oh wait, now it's at 5:30, and all I had to do was be awake. And that's actually happened quite often. I have a really big issue with waking up on time when I don't have to go to college, because I just think, all right, I can wake up, whatever, it's fine. But yeah. All right, so I said it was going to be shorter streams, also the second stream today. I feel like we talked about a lot. I'm really sorry I haven't been able to do take requests lately. It's just everything has been so crazy for me between college and the Discord and streaming and planning, and just it's been a lot lately. So once I really get back into an easier schedule, I'll go back to doing them nightly. We did a pretty long session of take requests on Sunday night stream. So yeah, even tomorrow night. So tomorrow I have to wake up at 7, and then I wake up at 7 a.m. I get home at 8 p.m. Then I eat dinner, shower, and then I stream right away. And then the next day in the morning, I have to wake up early again, and then I'm going to Canada. So it's just all over the place. So it takes a lot of energy for me to take requests, because I want to make sure I don't want to just ever half-ass take requests. If I'm going to do them, I want to make sure I'm giving you all my best opinions of analysis in my mind possible, you know? So yeah. Alright, so make sure to join the Discord if you want. If you were seeing those day trades earlier and you're interested in premium, they are never always going to be winners. There will be losers. I want to make that insanely clear. But if you are interested in premium, links in the description. And yeah, I wish you all a good trading day tomorrow. Good luck. I can't tell all of you how badly I want every single person on the stream to be just filthy rich. That's what I want. That's my end goal here. I just want everybody to be insanely rich, okay? Neutron Flux Labs showed up. I haven't seen you in chat. I think you were in chat last night. You haven't been talking that much. I know you've been busy as well. But hope you're doing well, Neutron. And yeah, that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Thank you for watching the stream. Peace out. One last thing, if you're not subscribed to the stream, if you're not subscribed to the stream, then subscribe. That's my pitch.
Quick, get into the front seat, George. Stop the car, you fool. It's finished. The rest is easy.